Call this meeting to order. Roxanne, do you want to call the roll?
Mrs. Davis,
Here.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Here.
Mrs. Ingles,
Here.
Mr. Marshall,
Here.
Mrs. McGrattan,
You're on mute,
you're
Mary.
muted. Okay, I see she's here.
Here.
Mr. Soms
Yes, here.
and Mr. Washington.
Here.
8 here, 0 absent.
Mr. Ryan, Counselor Ryan's also here.
Oh, I thought I called your name. I'm sorry. I checked you off. 8 here, 0 absent.
At this time, I will entertain a motion to remove the, from the table, the motion to set a 33.72 mill rate for the fiscal year 2021-2022.
Counselor Soms, so moved.
Counselor Dombrowski seconds.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roxanne, would you call the roll? There's no discussion.
Mrs. McGrattan,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan,
Yes.
Mr. Soms,
Yes.
Mr. Washington,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Dombrowski,
Yes.
Mrs. Ingles,
Yes.
Mr. Marshall.
Yes.
8 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. Next item, Bill.
I move to set a 33.72 mill rate for the fiscal year 2021-2022, and I would like to amend that mill rate.
Wait, we have to make the motion first.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Is there a second, please?
Second, Counselor Ryan.
And this is Counselor Soms. I would like to amend the motion to change the mill rate to 33.60.
Discussion on the amendment, please.
So a couple of hours before the town council meeting last week, when we were to set the mill rate, we got budget figures from the state through CCM. And we did our best to interpret those numbers to match them up to our budget. Our finance director was away at the time. I spoke to the assistant finance director. He thought that there was only a change in the pilot amount. And when Marcia got, so as a town council, we decided to table the motion because having numbers and setting the mill rate without completely understanding the numbers would be a mistake. So we tabled the motion. Marcia confirmed for us that in fact, we were receiving $174,571 of pilot money. That's Chester.
I knew I heard Chester. I knew it.
He came in eventually.
So anyway, so we've got $175,000 more than we expected. And so we are proposing to reduce the tax burden by that same amount. So the budget revenue will be the same, the expenditures will be the same. The mill rate goes down from 33.72 to 33.60. And the difference was in the pilot funds that we get from the state. And there is a list of state properties where they're not taxable. And it's not just state properties, but the state pays us payment in lieu of taxes because the properties are not taxable. So they changed the formula. We didn't understand the last formula. It's a difficult calculation to understand. They've changed it. The amount is going up. We'd like to know that that will continue in future years. So the finance director is trying to get that information and see if this is a one-time or permanent thing. But anyway, good news, we got $175,000 more so we can lower the mill rate.
Any questions or comments? I think not. Oh, yes, Roxanne.
I just want to check on procedure here. Do we want to make that as a friendly amendment or do we want to do an amendment because the amendment wasn't seconded? So is this a friendly amendment?
Let's get a second and make this a real amendment.
Second, Counselor Ryan.
Thanks, Roxanne.
Okay.
I think none of us are real happy about the fact that this mill rate establishes quite high taxes for the medium house in Ledger. The people with the highest assessments, some of their taxes are actually going to be lower when this is all said and done. But those like in the Highlands, in areas like Christie Hill, their taxes are going up $500 or $600 a year. And while none of us are happy with that, it's a very unusual situation just because of the market conditions. Now, if we were being reevaluated today, it would be totally the opposite. But we have to live with it, unfortunately, because we can't afford to reduce the taxes just because of that particular level of tax base. So I'm really happy you did go back and look, even though it's not a significant amount of money. It just does show an effort that we went back to try to get whatever we could to make it a little more palatable to everybody. Any other comments? Roxanne, at this time, we'll vote on the amended motion.
Mr. Ryan,
Yes.
Mr. Psalm,
Yes.
Mr. Washington,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes,
Mr. Dombrowski,
Yes.
Mrs. Ingles,
Yes.
Mrs. McGrattan,
Yes.
Mr. Marshall.
Yes.
8 in favor, 0 opposed.
motion carries. And
Now let's vote on the main motion as amended.
now we will vote on the motion as amended. Okay, Roxanne, would you call the roll, please? I assume there's no further discussion. Roxanne, would you call the roll?
Mr. Psalm,
Yes.
Mr. Washington,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes,
Mr. Dombrowski,
Yes.
Mrs. Ingles,
Yes.
Mr. Marshall,
Yes.
Mrs. McGrattan,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan.
Yes.
8 in favor, 0 opposed.
motion carries. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Counselor Ryan.
Uh-oh,
Somebody.
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's okay.
I'm
It's
not
okay.
offended.
Kevin, he's coming for you.
I think
No, I didn't mean
Kevin
that.
likes
Sorry.
Kevin liked the pressure being off, no problem.
I took over Feichelberg when he left, so
That's right, that's right. This meeting is
Sorry,
adjourned
Kevin.
without
that's
exception.
okay. That's okay. I second the motion.
Thanks, everybody.
I
We'll
won't
see
make
you
the same
on
mistake.
the 23rd again.
See you all then.
See you
All
later.
right.
Have a
Thank
Good
great
you.
job,
evening.
everyone.
Good evening.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.